nation and mining family, what's going on? It is another State of Economics 101, the good, the bad, the ugly about money. So we're going to talk about all that stuff investing wise, but none of this is financial advice in any way, shape, or form. Just kind of giving you guys some of that information to help you make the best decision for yourself. Yo. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and start diving into some of this stuff. Yo, what up, Fudweiser? What's going on, my dude? And everybody, as you are sliding on in, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. Yo. First in stream, yes you are. Yes you are, sir. So definitely FAs in the chat, all that good stuff. I see Automatic Beats dropping that FA. Comes in, yo, with the FA. Everybody drop those FAs, because you guys are ready to have for freaking awesome. Yo. It's like Automatic Beats. Budweiser with the left-handed cigarette. Yo. for you. Just for you, Automatic Beats.
Smoke weed every day.
There you go. Just for you. Let's go ahead and dive on in. Yo. So we are back looking at markets. S&P 500 index is about almost a 0.5% up. NASDAQ doing pretty good at a little over 1% up. I mean, for a old mature market like that at the valuation that it has, 1% gains is not bad with that kind of a market. US dollar losing some of that dominancy. It's down almost 0.25%. It's basically 0.25%. Dow Jones kind of flatlining. Russell 2000 up about 0.5%. And that, again, that has ARK Investment, that has MicroStrategy, some of the biggest Bitcoin funds out there. And I think Grayscale is in there. So, I mean, we're talking some of the biggest funds in Bitcoin that's in the traditional market. They're out there still. They're still buying that sweet busy Bitcoin. I'm just saying, guys, they have not changed anything. Let's go ahead and look at the stocks. Apple's doing pretty good at up 1%. People, some people like to be abused, and Apple has figured out the right amount of abuse that the customers just keep coming back. It's kind of funny. AMD up 2%, not bad. Amazon up almost 3%. Tesla still hasn't found its complete bottom floor yet. They are bleeding that money. Netflix seems to have found a little bit of a mini bottom at almost a 1% rise. Looks like their Go Woke, Go Broke platform is doing them wonders. People are still not spending a whole lot on advertisement with Meta. So, of course, they are still going to be losing money. The more that these companies are not spending money advertising on any one of Meta's platforms, is potential earning revenues that they are not getting. Because remember, guys, when you use Meta platforms, you are the product that they are selling. That's why it's free to you. Bitcoin's market cap down almost 0.25%. Bitcoin itself down almost 0.5%. Ethereum is over 0.5%. Tether dominance should be up at a point like this. Why? FOMO, dude. Fear. It's like or FUD. Fear, uncertainty, doubt. People fear the uncertainty and doubt that Bitcoin's going to rally from here. So they pile into Tether and wait for the bottom, and then they pile back into Bitcoin. But a lot of people will have sold just to get out of the market. This way they don't hemorrhage any money. And then their money basically sits off to the side, guys. That's usually how this rolls. let's see here. Futures market, gold doing kind of trading out sideways on the futures market. Gold doing pretty good, over $2,000 per ounce. Silver doing pretty damn good. Considering that it's pulling back, but it's still trading at over $25 an ounce. Crude oil doing seeing a positive day at 72.75 per dollars per barrel. Natural gas pulling back. This is the time of year where natural gas typically does pull back on pricing. Why? Heat. We're going into summertime. Natural gas demand drops dramatically. So now you're looking at people who are only using natural gas to cook, clean, and heat their water, right? So demand goes drastically down at this time of the year. So you should see the stocks trade out for natural gas companies and themselves and futures to pull back with that. Corn's going to go up. Why is corn going to go up? Because they're going to be pushing E85. People are going to be driving around a little bit more. They're going to be adding more corn, ethanol fuels to gasoline, which is going to put more of a demand on the corn. And on top of that, it is summer, so sweet corn is in demand. This is where planting comes in, and the futures market on corn trades pretty decent during the summertime, pulls back in the wintertime. I know, it's a no-brainer. And then, the Bitcoin futures with Grayscale pulling back a little bit, but the whole market's pulling back. And, of course, bonds. How is the market doing overall? Japan's still manipulating their bonds, so they've got a positive yield because they've got yield control. Germany's down almost 3% on their 10-year. The United States, you buy a 10-year Treasury bond and you will be losing money. You will not make money on this. UK's 10-year Treasury bond, they are almost 2%. India, you're losing money. I mean, but, our big loser here is going to be between Europe and Germany in total. And Germany makes up for a big part of Europe's economy. So keep that in mind, that there's a lot of industry in Germany. So for Europe and Germany to be down on their 10-year bonds, not a very good sign for Europe. And then us starting to flip into negative yields on the 10-year Treasury, you might as well call that defaulting. That is, to me that's just another way of explaining a default. What's up, Droid Guy, coming in, dropping that F. Yeah, what's up, dude? What's up? So, and of course, Bitcoin doing the Bitcoin things, like I was sitting here kind of thinking, that we would start seeing, right? I knew that we were going to see a sell-off, and we were basically going to complete the rest of the sell-off here for a nice 7-day sell-off. So we got, I think, 8 days out of this now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, we got another day or two that we can still go negative. But I don't think that, if you kind of see how this is playing out here, we could take this here, and we can go, bam. And now you can sit there and you can see how it's kind of trying to respect this as a support line. It looks like that's what it's starting to do. And if so, cool. That means we might print out a candle right onto this line, and then start going back into the upside from here. That would be my optimum hope. But hope in one hand and in another. We'll see which one fills up first, as they say. So this is a time where I would say this is perfect time to buy. Look, it can't go down any further than this. I'm not going to say that either. It just, like I said, it looks like it could be potential support area here. Potential. I mean, we have bounced off of this level a few other times coming into the rally into this section. And if you extend that out and play it the rest of the way, if I were to do it like this, all right, we're going to try it. So we've hit this area a bunch of times. Check that out. If I sit there and I look left on this chart, let me see here. Let me remove that. Too much noise. But you can see that we've hit it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different times. We've hit this level here and rebounded off of it. So I would say that this could be a support level, and we're basically looking at 27,000, which we don't have much further down to go if that is truly a support level. But you know, what do I know? I'm just a boob tuber. I've only been calling the rallies since it started, and kind of accurately calling it. I could be wrong here. This could be the time where my data doesn't support this and we break through, and that's fine by me too. But it just kind of looks like this could be an area where it would find a little support and potentially rally off of it. Not guaranteed. I don't know for sure, but you know, if I had to take an educated guess, that would be it. Looking at the rest of the crypto market, guys, Bitcoin's down. Rest of the market, for the most part, is going to respond. You will find that during a small rally periods, because of the fact that we did rally to almost $28,000, you'll see that some of these other coins are still in their rally mode, even though Bitcoin has kind of rolled over for its little bounce out, which is fine. And as soon as Bitcoin itself drops down low enough, the rest of the market will very, very, very quickly flip red. As people will start jumping out of these other altcoins, going into either stable coins, or they're going to pull their money out and just have it sitting on the sidelines. So be careful out there if you are looking at profits. If Bitcoin rolls over a little bit more, the profits that you might have in the last 24 hours will be wiped. If you are like Matic here, and over the course of 7 days, you're 12% down, you're only 0.045%, so less than you're like 0.05% up. So, I mean, God, that's like nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's like a rounding error. Considering of being down in your position 12%. Now, if you had purchased everything and you're still up 1 or 2%, well, cool. You know, you might want to consider taking the profits off the table. Consider it, because if it gets wiped out, it's going to happen very quickly, and Bitcoin doesn't have to move very much in order to really kind of wipe out any kind of profits people might see. It's just one of those unfortunate things that we all deal with. Monero still doing pretty, Monero doing Monero things, 153.87. Monero typically does pretty decent even in bear markets, because it's got its own underground ecosystem. On the dark interwebs. ETC holding. I'm surprised the ETC is holding at 1891. Wow, that's crazy. BCH still kind of hanging on there. I don't know how they're doing that, but okay. Let's see here. Man, some of these coins that are on the bottom I have never heard of. Hey, we got Tezos. I know that one. It's trying to break $1. Crazy. Pepe coin has wiped out a lot of its upside in the last 7 days. Still going down, guys. But if you purchased it 7 days ago, you are still up 76% on your position. And you might want to consider, taking some profits. At least 76% worth of profits off the table. Yeah. Let's see here. NIO, never to really recover at its $100 range. NIO used to be like $118. Has thus crashed down to $965. And that one was supposed to compete with Ethereum, but it had its own inherent problems from back in the day. I'm surprised that this is still on the top 100. Maker, wow, Maker's still up there at 662. Surprised on that one. But we got to remember that, it's like a lot of these coins that are still in profit today. If you look at this, the 7-day, they're still in heavy losses. So don't get fooled when you see on your favorite social media influencer and they're going, check out X coin, it's up, it's going to the moon. And then you look to the right a little bit and you're like, bro, it's still in the red though. That means you're still losing money, dude. It's like, what, are you trying to make an artificial pump so you can dump? That's kind of bogus. But you got to watch out for charlatans like that. That's why you won't really see me promoting coins. I just don't like doing that just because I don't want to be called a shill or a scammer. Going right along, guys. What's up? Ooh. What up? Let's go ahead and look at one of my favorite websites, usdebtclock.org. It's like, yes, you do, BTC, but that's not a poop coin. If it's not Bitcoin, it's a poop coin, and I don't promote poop coins. I promote the gold standard, gold, Bitcoin, and silver. That's all I will really ever shill. Gold and silver, that's God's money. Bitcoin, that's the people's money. Yo. That's not what you say. Hey, I'm trying to keep it clean on here, okay? I've been playing with the YouTube algorithm a little bit, and it's been helping a little bit. So, sorry. So, we got the U.S. national debt. We're still at 31 trillion. U.S. debt per taxpayer, per working person. Every working person owes $247,766 still. Let's see here. The U.S. Treasury dollars, they're still increasing that on a daily basis. The amount of taxes that they are trying to pull in is not offsetting the amount of expenditure that the too big of a government is spending right now. The people can no longer afford our government. And the government is too stubborn to fire a few people to lessen the burden of taxable necessity from the people. So it's better to imprison people for not paying higher taxes because it's not a spending problem on their end. It is a taxation issue on the people's end. We're not paying our fair share. That's the whole problem. We need to be making sure these people make $240,000 or $250,000 a year, while you struggle to make $30,000 a year. Yep, this is our insane government. Like a view. Yeah. So, I mean, full time, it's like the amount of oil that the oil barrel ratio now, what the US dollar is getting per barrel of oil is garbage. I mean, we're at 70 for almost $75 per barrel. And our oil prices are still jacked up through the moon. Let that sink in. In 2008, when the gas prices got a little high, it was almost $113 per barrel at that time. And a gallon of gas still cost less then than it does today. Let that sink in. That they are now spending less on that same fuel, and it's still costing more. There is an issue. There is a big disconnect. And that price is trickling through every economy in the United States, causing everything to go up in price because the price of energy is too damn high. I'm not sure what our government is trying to do, if they're trying to just kill off our economy and just give it over to China or something like that. But whatever they're doing, they're destroying it very nicely. They're not just sitting there and fire squatting it. They have taken out nuclear weapons and they are now blanket bombing it. And the prices that we are seeing at the grocery store, at the gas pump, is being reflective of what the amount of money that has been created in the last 5 years. We are just now starting to see the ramifications of unlimited money printing. This is going to get worse. We will see more banks fail because of this metrics here. These are the metrics they don't want to sit there and really look at, but this is what, between that and the bonds, the U.S. is in a death spiral, and they are now going to start lashing out at everything and anything that they possibly can. You have those that are wanting to get rid of any kind of energy breaks on crypto mining. And now the new latest thing, Biden calls to end an $18 billion crypto tax loopholes. Community begs to differ. So, I mean, you have Biden going, oh, look at all these tax loopholes. It's like, what tax loopholes? I'm not really sure what these tax loopholes are. You either have profits or losses. And if you're just going to sit there and go, you bought crypto and you no longer can claim your losses, well, that just basically screws over the entire industry. Because that now no matter what you do, you will always trade into higher tax brackets. And you can't claim any losses. I'm not sure how they're going to be able to do that, because that's basically the same game that they play with the stock market. Hey, I'm going to just do a bunch of trades and I'm going to harvest losses to offset all of my gains. We'll see how that really works. In the long run. They're not banning Bitcoin. I think that they're just going to regulate it to where it's not worth doing in the United States. And if they end up doing that, we in the United States, we are going to watch Bitcoin go underground here in the United States. And then the rest of the world that starts to adopt that, their economies will start flourishing much better than the United States. Take, for instance, El Salvador. Since going on to the Bitcoin standard, they've gotten rid of income tax. Wonder why? I wonder why. Income tax is gone. Investing taxes are gone. I wonder why. Maybe it's because they're getting enough taxes in enough different areas, and they're cut a lot of the unnecessary spending out of their budget. Amazing. It's what happens when you have a sensible government, a conservative government. It doesn't work. They can't control it where crypto is coming from. No, They can't control it. You are true on that one. But they can control the on-ramps and off-ramps. And if you do all of your trading on exchanges that report to the United States or to your local government, you can see the potential that that particular exchange could report you to your local government. And now your local government will sit there and look at you as a tax evader. And that's a whole different, I don't know about the tax laws out in your country, Rude, but here in the United States, they don't play around with that. They will send angry letters to you. I know all about this. So I'm not sure how they're going to really do this. But the president basically tweeted out this. We don't have to guess what MAGA House Republicans value. They're telling us. Tax loopholes that help wealthy crypto investors, $18 billion. Versus mega Republicans think Congress should cut food safety inspections by $15 billion. I don't think that that's really the what's going on here. And hey, there's a community note. Virtual currency is treated as property and general tax principles apply to property transactions apply to the transactions used in virtual currency. When an investor sells virtual currency, they must pay the tax on any capital gains. There is no evidence of loopholes to avoid this. I freaking love Twitter for their new community notes. They will just go swackada and truths are being put at the bottom of their tweets. It's like, yes, you have the right to say whatever you want. But if it's wrong, you're getting a community note so that the rest of the world understands that you're wrong. Thank you. You have the right to say stuff no matter how stupid it is. I would love to see where Republicans think that cutting food safety inspections was the route that they wanted to go. I would love to see how it was that they worded it. Because, like, let's say I've got a office of 5,000 people, but in order to get the day-to-day job done, I have 1,500 of them standing around doing nothing. Why am I paying for them to stand around and do nothing? So we get rid of 1,500, and that could save you money over the course of a year. Was that what the Republicans were talking about there? Was, hey, look, there is redundancy within the food safety inspections, that whole branch, right? We need to cut down some of the costs there because it's not being utilized. Why are we giving them more money to not do their job properly? So I would sit there and say, it's like, like I said, I would love to see what bill that Biden is talking about that they thought that cutting food safety inspections versus the food safety inspection organization cutting funding to them that they don't need. If the food safety inspection department is saving $10 million a year, or you know what I'm saying? Like, why are we giving them an extra $10 million if they're just going to save it? Use it or lose it. Get rid of it. It's still government stuff, and you have a surplus of cash in the wayside. Let's pull that, since you don't obviously need it, and put it towards other government programs or back into the economy where it should be. So, I mean, I'd love to see where Biden gets whoever his handler is that takes care of his Twitter account, because I mean, let's be real, I don't believe that Biden has the the cognitiveness to be able to tweet. Just saying, I don't think he understands how to use his phone. What up, Sadie? What's up, everybody? Smash that Lizzie like button, guys. Subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. I'm just saying. Just throwing it out there. And this one I like. I follow this guy too. At least I used to. Not sure if I still do. But this Twitter person, Shaquille Oatmeal or Crypto E, the audacity of this administration after they were funded by the now defunct FTX to help win. How about you give the money back? Thank you. Thank you. I mean, this man said it right. FTX was the second largest donor to the Democratic Party. They gladly spent stolen funds from the community and didn't bat an eye. That's how crooked and how crooked the Democratic Party is under Joe Biden. That they will gladly spend your stolen money if it gets them what they want today. That is the government that was elected. That they will cheat, lie, and steal in order to make sure that they get their way. Just like a 5-year-old would. I mean, our president has the mentality of a 5-year-old, and I've heard 5-year-olds make better sentences than our president. I'm just saying. Yes, I can get kind of worked up over the stupidity that I didn't vote for. I'm just saying. It's like Biden should be able to use his phone. He was buddies with Alexander Graham Bell. I know, man. I mean, he's as old as dirt. But yeah, I mean, they're trying to say that there's tax loopholes. Man, can anybody please tell me what these tax loopholes he's talking about for crypto? I would love to know what these tax loopholes are, because I would love to be using them and actually saving some money and actually get bigger returns back. Right? I mean, that's what I'd like to see here. Bigger returns. Yeah, I do not see what the loophole is. The only loophole, and it's the same loophole that you get in the traditional stock market. I buy a stock today. Donate to the people that have a tool fund party. Thank you, Sadie. You rock. You rock. Awesome. But I mean, it's like I would love to know what loophole, because like the only loophole that I know of is if you buy a stock and you hold on to it forever. There's no tax on there until you sell. So what? Are you going to start taxing people on unrealized gains? Because they've talked about doing that in the stock market. And it doesn't work because it's an illegal overreach to have to force somebody to sell their investment to cover a tax that never occurred, because taxes only occur when you buy or sell something. Period. You cannot sit there and tap into the future of that asset class, because that also would tap into houses. I mean, imagine you're sitting there and all of a sudden you get hit from the IRS going, "Hey, you owe $45,000," and you're like, the hell is this? And you look at it and you're like, oh, my house went up $100,000 in value, and now I owe $46,000. Or sell the house. It's like, where's the line on this? It's like, we the people need to draw the line in the sand at some point in time and be like, yeah, I don't think so. That's an illegal overreach. Period. So I would love to know where this $18 billion that our senile old fart of a president thinks that is being missed from the IRS. I would love to see this because, again, I'd like to use some of these. I can really utilize it. And I love the idea that Twitter put a note right onto the bottom of his wrongful tweet. Absolutely wrongful, misleading tweet stating that investors don't pay taxes. That's basically what he's saying. And that's just a flat out lie. I don't care what anybody has to say on that. That it's like, that's the hill I'll die on. I paid my taxes. I know how much that hurts. Just saying. But moving on along from, getting away from our corrupt and crooked president, let's go over to and looking at another country sitting there and trying to fight off that sweet busy Bitcoin. Ireland's central bank governor slams Bitcoin as a Ponzi scheme. I love the Ponzi scheme. I mean, they're a little late to the game on that one. I'd give it up to them if they were, not so late to the game. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, they were just really late to the game on this. They could do better. The Bank of Ireland published a blog post on the recent developments related to crypto regulation and the steps the bank is taking to protect consumers from the risk posed by burgeoning industry. The bank's governor, Gabrielle, said that the central bank would continue to exercise caution when it comes to the advantage and risks of crypto, regardless of the fact that Ireland's exposure to the sector is already low. That said, the governor said the central bank makes a distinction between backed crypto and unbacked crypto, despite blasting Bitcoin as a Ponzi rather than an investment. However, the bank acknowledged that the potential of the backed crypto, including solutions such as electronic money or EMTs or asset reference to or ART tokens, reference tokens under the new EU's regulatory framework, where appropriate reserves are controls are in place. So basically, what they're stating here is almost like having a gold-backed crypto or a stable coin. And in a stable coin, the assets that are backing it up are held by a third party, which would be subject to local laws and regulations. You see how that one rolls, right? As long as you centralize it's like, wow. As long as you absolutely make sure that it's centralized. I'm trying to not swear. Okay, sorry. But the gall that these people have, because of the fact that they cannot control Bitcoin, that it is now a Ponzi scheme. I mean, under what a Ponzi is that it takes new people today to pay old people tomorrow. So, in other words, it needs new people coming in so that the people who are pulling out always have money. That was never how Bitcoin was introduced to the world. Never was introduced for that function. Stuff like, for here in the United States, we have the Social Security program. That is a Ponzi scheme. because it takes workers today to pay for the retirees of today. So money goes in so that the money can go out, because there's no money in Social Security. It's a fund that has been pillaged. And now with less workers in the workforce, they're now looking at having issues with Social Security. And the only way that they're going to be able to fix Social Security is either one, we get rid of it. That's a good idea. Two, you just start funding it infinitely. And you no longer need anybody to pay into it, because you're printing money into it anyway, so it doesn't matter. And first pay on taxes, car, food, and the rest. Yeah. Get Bitcoin. Its only way is up. Any more was in there, was the beginnings. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing them wanting to be able to have control. And if they can't have control over it, it's Ponzi to them. Even though there is many things within their own exposures that they've already created Ponzi schemes. It's one of those things that I like to say, you know, the person doing the wrong will accuse the innocent person of doing that of which was considered wrong. And here it is. We got the banks trying to call out Bitcoin, because the Bitcoin's not insolvent. The very banks are. They've got bogus ass bonds that have no value. It is nationalized debt. And they think they're wealthy. They have basically made debt profitable for themselves. But all they're doing is paying themselves in more debt. It's like a circle jerk. I'm just saying. And here it is. We got that Bitcoin. It's going to do Bitcoin things. And it's going to be the honey badger. And the honey badger don't give no Fs. I'm just saying. Drop those Fs in the Chizzity chat on that one, yo. And talking about investing, Grayscale expands its ETF business and puts forward 3 new crypto funds. So 3 new crypto-focused exchange-traded funds. That's what an ETF is. Oh, too funny, Tech Man. You came in a weird time. You came in during weird times. So the new Ethereum futures fund, the global Bitcoin composite ETF, and a private ETF. The global Bitcoin composite ETF would invest in exchange-traded products that are related or backed by Bitcoin, including Bitcoin mining firms. Similarly, the Ethereum futures ETF would also allow indirect exposure to the potential future of Ether by the ways of the tracked ETH price. And then Grayscale's private ETF would invest companies working on blockchain-based private technologies, the filing explains. So that's pretty cool. We're going to see some more exchange-traded funds. It's basically they offer paper Bitcoin. It's exposure to, but not directly, because of the fact that they are not an exchange, a spot exchange traded fund. They don't own physical Bitcoin 1-to-1 on what's in the fund. So it's just exposures to their fund, and they're basically offsetting the purchase price of the Bitcoin with other people purchasing into the fund. So the fund itself does not trade or price evaluate to directly what the general Bitcoin market's doing. In other words, there can be arbitrage between the ETF fund. I just don't know how liquid it is to be able to get in and out of the ETF. So I've never played around with it, but there was times where the ETF was trading at a premium, and then there was a good vast majority of the time where the ETF was trading at below Bitcoin price. So you were able to get a better exposure to Bitcoin for a cheaper amount of money through the Grayscale ETF. So very interesting product that they're offering. I just don't like getting into the ETFs because of it's you're not getting direct exposure. You're getting exposure to their fund of however much Bitcoin they purchased. So keep that in mind, guys, whenever you're dealing with fund managements like this, that you are not getting direct exposure. You do not own Bitcoin, not your keys, not your cheese. But at least you get an indirect exposure to the price volatility on there. So if you're wanting to capitalize on that, it would be a okay area to play with. I wouldn't say you're going to make money on it. You can certainly lose more money than you're going to try to make. So just kind of keep that in mind. And for any of you Pepe fans, any of you guys Pepe fans, any of you guys, anyone here? Pepe's plummeting continues as 65% of meme tokens value is gone. Imagine putting in $100 and you wake up the next day and you've got 35 of it left. Same amount of Pepe, but it's only worth $35 out of your $100. I mean, that's basically what they're stating here. 65% of the value is gone. 65% of your money is gone if you invested into Pepe. Now, if you got free Pepe, then you're still up. I mean, it can go to zero and you're still up because you didn't lose anything. Poor Pepe. Like, I don't have to imagine that. I know we don't play around with poop coins here. But there was a guy that he put in $1 million. He lost almost $500,000 in Pepe. If this is his first time in crypto, welcome to the show. If you've been a poop coiner this whole time, and if that guy was a poop coiner this whole time, and this is the first time he's getting burned, well, welcome to the show. I really don't feel bad. You put in a few $1 million, and there are still whales trying to buy Pepe to push the price up. So I don't know if it's like really worth it, to if you had Pepe coin and you got it early, you're still probably up, maybe. But this is some of the reasons why I stay away from these poop coins. The idea that you're going to lose faster than you gain is real. So that's just kind of how I look at it. So be careful if you're playing around with these speculative poop coins. It is not the way to go. You will typically lose more money than your upside potential. For every one person that I hear that it becomes a life-changing event for them, I will find 100 people that it didn't change their life and it made it worse. That million can get their TX back from it. One of the loopholes. Oh, that's too funny. Ooh. So 3.4 billion of Bitcoin in a popcorn tin. The Silk Road hacker story. Yo. So if you guys are newer to this to crypto itself, you might not know of the Silk Road, or you'll only know of some things of the Silk Road. like the Dread Pirate is the one that the person that coded a lot of the Silk Road, and that was Ross Albright, who was a cypherpunk, but not one of the very good security side on cypherpunk. So he got himself caught up because he let too much of his own personal data get out there, which really screwed him over. He tried to say that he got hacked for a lot of Bitcoin, and Ross Albright still went to prison. Ross Albright is never getting out. He will do life in prison plus 40 years, I think, or something like that. While this guy was out this whole time, and he had $3.4 billion worth of Bitcoin for James Zung, the ideal spot to store it was on his computer, where its circuitry exposed places in a used Cheetos popcorn tin in a bathroom closet under a pile of blankets. Oh, that is awesome. So the lifestyle of a crypto billionaire. So if you guys really want to sit there and find out, you should research the Silk Road. It was a big thing. The CEO, the founder, basically went to prison for life for facilitating hitmen and stuff like that on his platform. You were able to buy drugs. You were able to sit there. There was a lot of stuff on the Silk Road that, for most countries, they're going to sit there and be like, yeah, I really don't want my people to be exposed to something that rotten. And I get it, right? But they basically made it to where they basically locked up Ross Albright like he was the man that did everything. It's like, no, I can understand him going to jail for creating the program. Okay, whatever. You want to sit there and say that that's illegal? Fine. But to conduct it to where you're blaming him for all the hitmen and all the drugs, it's like, no. He didn't sell that stuff. He didn't do that. He just didn't stop it from happening. It's like you can get him in trouble for that, for aiding in aiding in that, but considering nobody else ever really went down for the whole Silk Road, it was just Ross Albright. That was another thing that I had an issue with. Outside of that, even Ross Albright himself has stated a bunch of times that he understood why he was in there. He understood what it meant. And that's why he's not truly fighting to get out. His mom is fighting more than anything else. It's like, I can't poop coin at more than $40 at a time. It's my lotto. I get that one. 100%. 100%, Sadie. So we're going to be seeing more, I think, on this one. I think that we'll see another person finally go to prison outside of Ross Albright. Be interesting. I've always kind of been interested in the whole Silk Road story, because the Silk Road still operates to this day, even though Ross Albright's in prison. Well, let's put it out there like that too. And then, before I get up out of here, fellas, one last thing. Like I said, I don't want to be doom and gloom, right? I like to leave people with a smile on their face from time to time. IRS claiming $44 billion from FTX bankruptcy report. Single biggest claim involves the unpaid partnership between and income tax of $24.4 billion assessed against Alameda Research. The United States Department of Treasury and the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, have filed 45 claims worth $44 billion against bankrupt cryptocurrency exchange FTX and its subsidiaries. In what appears to be a tax bill for FTX sister company Alameda Research that the LLC circulated online on May 10th, the IRS assessed at $20.4 billion due in partnership taxes and payroll. The assessment appears to match the IRS claim found on the website of Kroll's restructuring administration practice, FTX claim agent. A further $7.9 billion claimed made against the IRS against Alameda Research LLC, while the two claims, $75 billion and $2 billion, are made against Alameda Research Holdings. The IRS has filed claims under administrative priority, enabling its claims to supersede that of the unsecured creditors during the bankruptcy proceedings. So if you got any money on FTX, the IRS is going to take all the money. You get nothing. Unfortunately. I don't think anybody here is on FTX. I hope not. Please, for the love of God, don't let any of you awesome people be on FTX because you just lost your money. This is that nail in the coffin that goes, oh yeah, FTX found $7.5 billion and they want to reopen the exchange. But if everything levered against the FTX exchange and the subsidiaries owes now $44 billion, it's done. There's no money for any of its unsecured creditors during the bankruptcy. And an unsecured creditor is going to be everybody that is owed Bitcoin. If they owe you $10 worth of Bitcoin, well, you're an uncredited investor in an unsecured investment. There is no insurance on your investment. It's like Willy Wonka. You get nothing. You did not see the terms of service. If not your keys, not your cheese. Be very interesting on how they're going to be moving forward. While Alameda Research was headquartered in Hong Kong, its founders and key personnel, including Sam Bankman-Fried and Carolina Ellison, are U.S. nationals. Unlike most other countries, the U.S. uses a taxation by citizenship regime, meaning that U.S. nationals are liable for the taxes on their worldwide income, irrespective of their place of residence or how much time they spend in the U.S. each year. In other words, if you work in another country, the U.S. still expects you to pay your income tax to them regardless. Yep. And that's basically how they're going to come after them. So that's basically going to take all the money that FTX supposedly found and is trying to now go back to doing business with you. It's not how it's going to work. There's going to be no money. IRS is taking it all. And I feel bad for all the unsuspecting people that were just holding their Bitcoin on there. Or whatever poop coin you happen to have on there. I feel bad for anybody who had it on there. At the same time, they should have been listening to channels like this, and I would have been saying from day one to never hold your crypto on an exchange. And you would have been better informed. And you wouldn't be out of your money. Unfortunately, that is not always the case. For everybody else that knows better and they're in FTX and you lost money, let this be another life lesson that you should not be leaving your crypto on an exchange. I'm not trying to be mean to you or anything. This is just a life lesson, right? That's how you have to look at it. Hey, I played with fire again. I got burned. What am I not going to do next time? We're not going to play with fire. And the moment you do that, you lower your risk tolerance and your stuff becomes safer. Stay away from the illegal stuff. Government doesn't like competition. Huh? Oh my God, yeah. Why are you buying your stuff off of Silk Road? You know that we have the CIA over here. Can you please do business with us? So before I head up out of here, guys, you guys got any comments or questions? Anything like that before I get out of here? Thank you, everybody, for being here and all that good stuff. Definitely smash that Lizzie like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification. And again, thank you, Sadie. You are amazing. Definitely, everybody drop some FAs. If you don't have any other comments or questions, drop the FAs in the Chizzity chat, guys. Yo, because you guys are rated F for freaking awesome. Yes. And with that being said, definitely check out the links down below if you haven't done so already. Join the Discord. It's free, guys, to join the Discord. Love to have you be a part of the community. If you would like to have your rigs hosted at the facility, guys, certainly join the Patreon. Links down below. Get into the Pseudo Hasher tier. This way you can get your VIP access to the facility, guys. Love to have you all at the facility, hashing away with all of us. You know, it's what I'd like to have happen. It's my goal, right? It's the goal. And with that being said, peace out. Stay savage. May your watts be low and your hash be high. I'll see you on the next one. Yo.